are back with the win this time, boys and girls. The Vegas Golden Knights beat the St. Louis Blues 6-5 in overtime at T-Mobile Arena inside the Fortress here in Las Vegas. A beautiful evening of hockey, but it didn't really start off that way. Coming off from a 4-0 loss against the Minnesota Wild, the Vegas Golden Knights needed to spruce up and get shit ready for this game. But unfortunately, it didn't fucking start off like that from the very get-go. 25 seconds into the first period. 25 seconds into the first period. Zach Sanford of the St. Louis Blues scores on the first shot of the game. Hooray! As the Vegas Golden Knights, you start thinking to yourself, like, what the fuck are we doing? I mean, isn't that a thought process that has to be, like, creeping on in there in terms of defense? Like, what the fuck are we doing? But thankfully, unlike the other night against the Minnesota Wild, the Vegas Golden Knights decided to show up on offense. Wow! Isn't that fucking great? Max Pacioretty, Maximilian Pacioretty, comes to the rescue in that first period. Yes, boys and girls, 1:59 seconds in, he gets the power play goal to get us equalized with the St. Louis Blues. And it's straight off of the face-off and a shot off of the rebound. So feeling good about ourselves. The Vegas Golden Knights punch on through, gets the equalizer, and sure enough, the way the Vegas Golden Knights start playing aggressive and getting the fucking puck over, it's cause for good things. And the good things comes in more goals. Max Pacioretty netting his second fucking goal of the game, 6 minutes and 34 seconds into the first period. It's space opening up, and Pacioretty just gliding through the divided Red Sea like a fucking fish. And, well, technically the fish would be dead if the sea was divided. So really a four-legged animal. The analogy just fucking died there. But what didn't die, boys and girls, was the momentum that Vegas had at 2-1 in the first period. So what do you do if you're the Vegas Golden Knights? I don't know, maybe stay aggressive, stay playing the way you've been, maybe manage the puck better, don't fuck it up. But it is the Vegas Golden Knights. They tend to fuck it up, especially on terms of defense. So, Sanford, we're going to be mentioning his name a lot. Zach Sanford gets a second goal of the game, 9 minutes and 41 seconds in. Jesus, dude. Like, he basically stick handles right in front of Braden McNabb and Malcolm Subban. To the point where you feel bad for Braden and Sub. You're like, oh, shit. That's like getting nutmegged or crossed over in soccer or basketball. And as soon as that goal went in, I just thought, okay, shit, that's not good. That's an equalizer. That is probably going to bite us in the ass. And that it did, boys and girls. That it fucking did! Barbashev gets the goal. 15 minutes and 43 seconds into this first period. Now, I saw Barbashev scoring. Certain sports apps might have it differently, so please let me know if that's the case. But what looked like a high sticking wasn't it. And so the Vegas Golden Knights just kind of lay there. Kind of shell-shocked. I mean, you could tell kind of from the body language of these Vegas Golden Knights that they were shell-shocked. And God, you go into the second period, and for them to continue that mentality straight on through was embarrassing. Sanford getting his fucking hat trick. Sanford got the hat trick 5 minutes and 13 seconds into the second period. This man, within a span of one full period and maybe like a fourth of a period, gets a hat trick. And so the Vegas Golden Knights had to be looking at themselves and thinking, what the fuck are we doing? Right? And also a questionable thing that happened within that sequence was I'm watching the AT&T Sportsnet broadcast, and I thought I was tripping because for whatever reason, the scoreboard was 4-2 before this goal went in. The scoreboard changed to 3-2, and then Sanford scored 10 seconds after the fucking mistake was fixed. And I'm like, wait, hold the fucking phone. Who the fuck knows about this shit? Somebody does. Oh, sports is rigged. You know what? I try not to fucking buy into that narrative, but when you see shit like that, it's like, wait, hold on. What the fuck was that? You fucking tripping on me, AT&T Sportsnet. What the fuck are you doing? You know something that we don't? Help me out in the sports gambling world. Jesus Christ. But as much as you can beg for help, the Vegas Golden Knights just did not collect themselves in that second period. They just didn't. Although, yes, there was a bit of a scrum, not a real fight, but like a bit of a scrum between Ryan Reeves, number 75, and former Vegas Golden Knights, David Perron, number 57. Yeah, they were just fucking getting at each other like, motherfuck you! Reeves just landing on the fucking ice with Perron, just near like grappling wrestling match. And so those two get a minor penalty, bench minor, fucking whatever. And the reason why I say whatever, because that second period was such a fucking disaster. Like, that second period for me specifically was the culmination of every Vegas Golden Knights fuck up, like right then and there. And funny enough, watching all this fuck up happen, it's none other than Las Vegas Raiders head coach John Gruden and owner Mark Davis. Fun times for those two cats to be in the crowd. That was really weird, but you know, they exist. So the Vegas Golden Knights at this point, you know, down 4-2, have to get themselves going, right? They got to get themselves going. And by the end of the second period, you start getting a little weary of the Vegas Golden Knights' efforts. But one man who wears his heart on his fucking sleeve and is just an absolute animal is Jonathan Marchessault. Jonathan Marchessault, 18 minutes and 59 seconds into the second period, gets a power play goal to put the Vegas Golden Knights only down by one goal, 4-3. And it's a straight shot, that was a beauty of a pass from Stone that allows the Vegas Golden Knights to gain some sort of footing going to the third period to maybe buy in for that equalizer. And again, shit was getting testy between both teams by the start of this third period. Just a lot of tempers flaring up, especially after the whole Reeves and Perron situation. But you saw guys like Mark Stone, Bennington just kind of chilling in the back there, but a lot of the cats out there, Pietrangelo, O'Reilly, just getting into it. And so for the Vegas Golden Knights, it's you have this chippiness in the game, but you got to be able to write that shit off so you can gain some sort of fucking footing on this game. And by the start of the third period, I had this weird feeling like, oh my God, I feel like we're going to get into an overtime loss. For whatever reason, I feel like this feels like an overtime loss game. But when Nate Schmidt scores a fucking slap in the face shot from the blue line and gets a goal 6 minutes and 33 seconds into the third period on a power play goal, no less, I mean, you are feeling over the fucking moon. They just equalized 4-4. Holy shit. I mean, we are on the edge of the world. And Nate Schmidt just tied it. And so St. Louis is going to bring their A game. St. Louis is going to just get on you about that shit. And that they do. And Zach freaking Sanford. Okay? 11 minutes and 45 seconds in. Why is my voice cracking? Because this dude yesterday was owning Malcolm Subban and the defense. This dude alone was just having a fucking field day. 4 goals. He's had more goals than Alexander Ovechkin in the last 3 games. In one game. Just really think about that, boys and girls. But the Vegas Golden Knights conceding that goal felt like a death blow, yes. But for whatever reason, us Vegas Golden Knights fans are these sadomasochistic bunches where we know the shittiness of our defense can kill us, but on offense, we are the do or die. We're always going to fucking try kind of guys. And here we are in the third period. About 4 or so minutes left with Alex Tuch speeding on through. And a good little fucking play right in front of Binnington allows Tuch to get in the goal. And ladies and gentlemen, by the end of this period, the Vegas Golden Knights and St. Louis Blues were tied 5-5. And man, oh man, the unfortunate part of that sequence was Alex Tuch scores a goal, then gets injured on the next play. And he had to be escorted off the ice with 2 other players. And so hopefully he's okay. And he should be okay for time moving forward. But yeah, it was really scary to watch that yesterday. But by the end of this third period, I had to really ask myself, like, how is the St. Louis defense so fucking bad? And Jordan Binnington, another cat that I genuinely love watching. I mean, the skills on this goaltender is special. You have to be really wondering yesterday, what the hell's going on with him? The fucking defense and goaltending for St. Louis is really what made them good. But that game was just unbelievable. But to be fair, the St. Louis Blues did this shit, a couple weeks ago in Vegas. Same kind of shit. But here we are, surprised that we're going into another fucking overtime. And Binnington coming up so clutch, only for the entire rest of the team to fuck it up for him. The Vegas Golden Knights go on a power play in overtime, and it's Jonathan Marchessault who nets in the game winner, where you have to feel for St. Louis. The way they fucking lost this game is just... It's very curious, because this is exactly how I see Vegas Golden Knights losing games. So... Oh, God, if you're a St. Louis Blues fan, you got to be thinking to yourself, our goaltender was better. On paper, our players should be better, but here they are, crapping the fucking bed at the worst time possible, and losing on the road. Although, yes, they did gain a point. But that point shouldn't be awarded or, patted on the back to the fucking offensive or defensive players. This should be given to Jordan Binnington. Yes, I understand that Zach Sanford was the one who brought it so close, and he deserves that 2-star, absolutely. But Jordan Binnington, 46 saves on 52 shots. Can we acknowledge that that's really fucking good? 46 saves on 52 shots. Jordan Binnington gave everything he had in this game. With an .885 save percentage, along with Zach Sanford, these 2 guys were the only fucking ones that wanted to play that day. Everybody else, like, what the fuck were you doing? I'm sorry. I'm just watching that fucking St. Louis Blues team last night and thinking, these are your defending champions? Really? Like, us mediocre Vegas Golden Knights team and fans and players can laugh mockingly at this? Really? This is it? My God. But if you watch that game last night and say this is Jordan Binnington's fault, you are wrong. You are absolutely wrong. Jordan Binnington was superb. Him and Zach Sanford, again, only players for St. Louis that actually showed up and gave a shit. And really, if it wasn't for Binnington and Sanford, you're not getting that extra point. But for the Vegas Golden Knights, credit has to be given to Subban and the rest of the squad for getting the 2 full points, despite the fact that Malcolm Subban, save percentage-wise, 19 saves on 24 shots. And some of those goals, ugly to give up. Ugly to give up. But he came up big when it was necessary. And as you have noticed, 19 saves on 24 shots. St. Louis Blues did not take a lot of shots. Yeah, Sanford, 4 goals. Extremely efficient, but everybody else was kind of back. Much like that squeaky sound. And there is that portion of the St. Louis Blues mentality and game where you have to take into factor that, yeah, Jay Bouwmeester after that cardiac episode, collapsing. That has to do a number on the player's psyche. So, in a way, as a hockey fan, I'm frustrated the St. Louis Blues weren't completely up to snuff, but at the same time, I get it, right? So, it sucks to see that shit unfold in that way. But as a Vegas Golden Knights fan, I'm not going to fucking pretend that I'm not happy. Okay? We got 2 points at home in a thrilling overtime game where, yeah, it's a shame that I didn't go to the game. But honestly, had a blast watching it. And just really glad that the Vegas Golden Knights have been able to stack up a point yesterday. 2 points, really. Because the Pacific Division is nuts. It is fucking nuts. You got the Canucks on top, Edmonton right there, Vegas Golden Knights right on third, Arizona and Calgary just clawing and scratching at each other to figure out who's going to get up there. And so the Vegas Golden Knights have to take this win into mind and keep this form going, keep the fucking pressure on the Pacific at an all-time high, because we need to get points. We need to get playoffs, guys. That's the key here. So the Vegas Golden Knights do have I believe a 5-game homestand, including that St. Louis Blues game. And the games will continue into tomorrow, Saturday, against the New York Islanders. So very excited for that one, boys and girls. So hopefully the boys will be ready by then, and maybe another home win would be nice. So boys and girls, that does it for me. Follow me at the Sky Lounge and all the links in the description below. Like, comment, subscribe for more daily contents. Go Knights, go. Now fuck off.